It seems like every time Meghan Markle steps out in public, there's at least one moment that gets people talking, sometimes for the wrong reasons. Let's take a trip down memory lane and relive some of her most awkward, cringeworthy, and downright puzzling moments. First up, the Endeavor Fund ceremony blunder. Meghan and her co-host took the stage, ready to present, until they realized their notes didn't match. Cue an awkward silence that felt like it lasted a decade while Meghan was trying to smooth things over with some nervous laughs.
I think you're here. Okay, here.
Is this it? Here we go.
I think so.
Thank you.
But, to her credit, Markle did manage to save the moment by handing over her notes. Crisis averted? Sort of. Later that year, Meghan made a surprise appearance at the British Fashion Awards. Emphasis on surprise. Actress Rosamund Pike was supposed to present an award, but instead she introduced Meghan on stage.
Rosamund Pike.
It is my privilege to announce that we have a very special guest to announce the winner, Her Royal Highness the Duchess of Sussex.
To make things even more awkward, she stood there, cradling her baby bump, while the winner Claire Waite-Keller was speaking. And as if that wasn't enough to get people talking, Meghan also broke royal protocol with her dark nail polish. The Queen reportedly prefers neutral shades, and Meghan's bold manicure was seen by some as another sign that she wasn't too concerned with following tradition. Oops. Then, as June 2019 rolled around, and Meghan attended her last Trooping the Color as a working royal, everything seemed fine, until the national anthem started playing. That's when cameras caught Harry turning to Meghan and, allegedly, telling her to turn around. She hesitated, took a deep breath, and finally turned, looking like she was holding back an eye roll. Was it a royal protocol reminder? A little marital scolding? Either way, it wasn't a great look.
Yeah, I tried to warn you as much as possible.
And then there was that moment in the Netflix documentary when Meghan got a text from Beyoncé.
Beyonce just texted. Really meant.
Shut up.
Just checking in.
Just checking in, just casual.
I still can't
can't
believe she knows who I am.
Now, to be fair, most of us would lose our minds if Bey slid into our DMs, but Meghan's reaction seemed a bit over the top, especially considering her husband is a literal prince. Was it really that big of a deal? Another memorable moment occurred at the 2019 royal exhibit. Meghan and Harry walked into a private viewing meant only for the Queen, Charles, and William, breaking protocol. Charles told them to stand back, but they kept moving forward. Then, a guard quickly rushed over, telling them to wait until the senior royals exited before they could continue. It was a real main character syndrome moment, except no one told them they were extras. Then there was the graduation speech at her old high school in 2020. The problem? Meghan wasn't the keynote speaker. Instead of a quick message, she recorded a heartfelt video about social issues, which left some people wondering if the speech was more about her than the graduates.
And I know sometimes people say, how many times do we need to rebuild? Well, you know what? We are going to rebuild and rebuild and rebuild until it is rebuilt.
By March 2020, Meghan and Harry were on their way out of royal life, but not before one last awkward moment. They arrived late to the Mountbatten Music Festival, right as the Royal Marines were finishing their performance. As the crowd stood for a standing ovation, Meghan smiled, nodded, and looked around, apparently thinking the applause was for her. Except it wasn't. Actually, the ovation was for the conductor and orchestra. Yikes. Meghan's visit to a Harlem low-income school to promote her book, The Bench, in 2021 also didn't go unnoticed. She read from her book, The Bench, while wearing an expensive designer outfit and hundreds of thousands in jewelry.
And I haven't ever read it to any other kids besides our own kids, so I'm really excited now I get to read it to you.
Critics pointed out the contrast between Markle's wardrobe and the school's low-income student population. To make it worse, reports said her team had a list of demands, including a new carpet and pillows for the kids. The irony? It's hard to miss. Next up, the royal snub that had everyone buzzing, Scarfgate. In a resurfaced video, Meghan appears to be chatting with Prince William. but he seems more interested in adjusting his scarf for what feels like an eternity.
At the time, it was awkward. I was a bit shocked.
Some saw it as an intentional cold shoulder, while others thought it was just bad timing. Either way, the awkwardness was off the charts. Things got even more uncomfortable in their Netflix doc when Meghan mocked her first curtsy to the Queen.
Americans will understand this. We have medieval times, dinner and tournament.
Making fun of this seemed disrespectful, especially to the Queen and royal traditions. Even Harry looked super uncomfortable, like he wanted to shrink into the couch. Meghan also said she didn't know she had to curtsy.
I remember in the car and driving up, and he said, "You know how to curtsy, right?" And I just thought it was a joke.
Honestly, that's hard to believe. It's one of the first things most people know about the royal family, and with all the media attention on her marriage to Harry, she must have heard about it. If that's true, though, it feels pretty ignorant. She could have easily Googled it. I mean, it's not exactly a royal secret, right? Then there's the polo trophy moment. Meghan was celebrating with Harry's team when she tried to grab one of the players' prize boxes, only for him to firmly keep hold of it. She quickly ducked under Harry's arm, making for a seriously clumsy moment. Their engagement interview was another memorable moment. Meghan insisted she had little knowledge of Harry beforehand.
I didn't know much about him, and so the only thing that I had asked her when she said she wanted to set us up was, I had one question. I said, "Well, is he nice?" Because if he wasn't kind, it didn't seem like it would make sense, and so...
Really? A prince? The son of Princess Diana? And she knew nothing? Hard to believe. We can't talk about her royal appearances without mentioning that near miss at a wedding. Meghan attended Harry's cousin's wedding in a beautiful Oscar de la Renta dress and white heels. Now, if you've ever tried walking on grass in heels, you know it's risky. Meghan almost took a tumble but saved herself by grabbing Harry's hand just in time. Surprisingly, the media didn't go hard on her for it. In fact, they praised her for handling the moment like a pro. A close call, but she pulled it off. But things didn't go quite as smoothly the next time. During an interview in South Africa, Meghan got emotional when asked about the pressure she was under. And she made an emotional confession.
Yeah, well, I guess, and also thank you for asking, because not many people have asked if I'm okay. But it's a very real thing to be going through behind the scenes.
A vulnerable moment, but given that she was in a country where many people struggle to meet basic needs, it struck some as out of touch. Then there's that moment at the One Love movie premiere. Meghan and Harry probably expected to be in the VIP section, but, surprise, they weren't. Dressed in an elegant black skirt, while others rocked casual attire, Meghan looked more suited for a gala than a laid-back film screening. Their appearance made waves, especially since the royal family was already dealing with health concerns involving King Charles and Kate. Definitely not the best timing to grab the spotlight. Royal commentator Richard Fitzwilliams called it a deliberate ploy to prove their value to the royal family. Was it just a movie night or a bigger message? Either way, it made headlines, but not for the right reasons. As if things weren't interesting enough, there was the awkward mic grab at Costner's event. Meghan reached for the mic, but the host wasn't letting go. Was she about to give a speech? We'll never know, but it definitely made things feel awkward. Another unforgettable moment came at the 2023 Invictus Games, where Meghan unexpectedly marched in front of British veterans. Dressed in shorts and sandals, Meghan arrived late to the opening ceremony and later gave a speech about giving her kids milkshakes. Safe to say, it left some people pretty bemused. With all these moments in mind, it's hard not to wonder, what do you think was the most awkward or cringiest Meghan Markle moment? Were these just harmless missteps, or do you agree they were truly cringeworthy? Drop your thoughts in the comments below. Don't forget to subscribe and click that notification bell for more celebrity stories.